Hey there! Welcome back to the Mothcast, a podcast about video games and how a couple of moths feel about them. The game for episode 39 is A Short Hike, a pixel graphics exploration game about a trek up a mountain. Trade your shovel for my shovel, and let's get into the podcast. Alright, so the game this week is called A Short Hike.
Yeah, and a short hike it is,
Very
for
short.
sure.
As short as,
Actually, like, as short as you want it to be honest.
yeah, I honestly like this game was a lot of fun and it doesn't outstay its welcome, but I feel like if there was like maybe like what two more things to do, you could easily stretch this out to like 2 hours and it would still be
Oh,
fine.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um
I didn't do everything either. Like, I'm sure I didn't.
I think I did like as much as one can reasonably be expected to without like without going through the
With, like
island with a fine
without
tooth comb.
yeah, I was gonna say without, like, scouring everything.
Yeah. Because I did like basically go through the entire water around the island with the boat, and like
Oh, you used a boat?
yeah, I used the boat. Did you just did you swim the entire
I
time?
just swam.
Oh, yeah,
The
no,
the the thing is the first thing I did is I didn't even go on the path. Like, when you start at the house, you're, like, supposed to go on the path towards the beach. I
hmm
just didn't. I just immediately jumped in the water and swam away.
same.
Because it's
Okay,
like,
so
oh yeah, it's like, oh, it teaches you how to jump, it teaches you how to glide, teaches you how to, do these
do all
other
this stuff.
things. And I
All
just
right,
didn't. I'm like, how do you do this?
so the game, A Short Hike, is a I guess the best way to describe it would be like a pixel graphic exploration collectathon. Is that do you think that's
Yeah,
about
I
right?
think that's about right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
Um it's a 3D pixel graphic game as well,
Mhm.
which is like a very unique type situation cuz like I don't know of any other game that can really claim that. Um
No, I don't think so.
like it's very strange cuz you'll think like oh, there are 3D pixel graphics games like we played Iconoclast recently and it's like no,
Yeah,
that's still pretty 2D, like there is some depth to those models, but like no, this is like full 3D, like gyroscopic, isometric camera angles that
yeah,
go and
'cause
move with your
mhm,
character around a 3D island. Like this game is full 3D, and yet it is still like every pixel is apparent.
like a 16 or like 32-bit
Yeah,
game,
probably 32-bit game. Yeah, it's kind of wild
or
actually.
16. I don't know.
I've never seen anything like it, which
No, it looks cool.
is really neat because I don't know. I don't know about you. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
As
and
somebody
you
who
don't like
hates
pixel games.
pixel graphics games or, as a general rule is wary of them. Um
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
it was cool. I like you can use the joystick to move the camera around, you know.
Yeah,
So
just a tiny bit. Not like
so like
a lot, but
it wasn't 2D. It wasn't like your view was stuck in one place, isometric,
yeah,
like
oh yeah,
most
that I
other.
guess that's true. There are a few games that do that, obviously,
They're
where
like it's like a full 3D game, you know.
mhm,
But this was like a actual 3D game.
yeah, full 3D game. Uh, so man, okay, I guess we can talk about music. I want to mention, I guess, that this game you're playing as I want to say it's like a penguin, right? Or like
No,
some kind of a
I don't
bird.
think so. It's a bird, some kind of like bird, crow, something. I don't know. Crow, raven, who knows? Not a penguin though.
Either way, you're playing as a winged creature. And so that's why a lot of the things would make more sense, such as gliding and double jumping because of feathers and stuff like that. Where if you were a human, that's just silly. um, But yeah. So I guess we can talk about the music very quickly. This music in this game is actually really, really cool.
It was really good. I was enjoying the music.
It's
Um,
basically you're on an island, right? We already said that because
yeah,
it's mentioned that you're on an island. But it's like it's island theme plus
yeah.
almost with the music. But I wanted to ask you if you noticed anything about when the music actually plays.
Um, yeah, I did. It was like the like whenever you did something or like found something um like important.
Yeah, I do think that is
I
true.
I think
But
there was some like because there's like a forest, there's like a beach, there's like kind of like houses, townish area.
yeah,
There has different music for those places. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
What I'm looking for is that the music actually plays more when you're on the path to the peak.
Mhm.
I don't know if you noticed that.
I
Where
didn't notice that. That makes sense.
if you run off the road, like let's say you're in the forest and you like go off on a little side quest because somebody asked you to, the music will actually just stop playing and it'll get quiet,
Hmm.
which I is an insanely like it's a really really good touch
Yeah.
because like not that it's encouraging you to stay on the beaten path, but you can be like, oh, I want to go over here and take in this site because like the way that they have the camera is there are sites you can actually
Yeah.
end up seeing a lot down below because like it's fully what's the word, it's like not only is it three-dimensional but like you can go up, um
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and so they definitely do height because it's a peak, you're climbing a literal mountain in
Climbing
this
an island.
game.
Yeah, it's
um and so whenever you get to a certain height, uh it you look down and it's like, oh, wow, that's quite a distance that you've climbed, and it really adds this certain sense of, I don't know, like
accomplishment.
majesty, or yeah, accomplishment. Yeah, that's a good idea, or a good way to put it. Which I think is what they were definitely going for.
Oh, yeah, of course. And they did it really well.
Yeah, but I think with the sound design of if you find yourself in a spot where you can see down the mountain and you see like a lot of stuff, the
Mhm.
music not playing, um, it's actually pretty. It's remarkable that it lets you sit with your thoughts instead of influencing what you should be thinking
Yeah.
by playing a certain kind of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because so many times we see games where uh it's like, oh, it's supposed to be a spooky game, and so they play like anxious music in the background to make you feel anxious. And as human beings, we're pretty much hardwired to be led around by the ear. That's one of
Yeah.
our pretty major senses. We hear something that makes us anxious, or is supposed to be something that imbues anxiety into us, or happiness, or anger, or like something that gets us hyped up and makes us focus even harder. It's something that a lot of game makers do that really really works.
Yeah.
But seeing the absence of that, I think if you're watching out for it, is really it's really cool to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's really it's very simple, this music, whenever it is playing, but it really adds to the trek up the mountain, I suppose.
Yeah, like the journey,
Yeah. I
'cause
guess it's really awkward. We already talked about the graphics. I don't know. There's not a whole lot else to say other than like,
I mean,
go ahead.
no, not really. Uh, I don't I don't really have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most unique things I've ever seen 3D pixel. I don't know how many bits exactly, but like less than Super Mario 64. You know, uh,
Yeah.
the only game that I would say is like similar, but only because of the very unique engine that it exists inside is Noida. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Where like every
Ew.
single pixel exists on the screen for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's like constantly moving, similar to maybe even like an AI animation, where like if you've ever seen one of those where like for some reason the AI thinks that you have to change every pixel as you're animating.
Yeah.
And it looks very unique and very like surreal almost. Um,
Yeah, I mean, because like it is because it's an environment, I guess, like nature. You're not gonna like nothing's gonna ever be still in nature.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Trees are always moving. There's always like you can't see the wind in real life, but having the little wind waves in the sky and then the
Mm.
actual waves in the water and like you can see the fish in the water and you know like you see something in the sand or in the dirt and it's like got a little like star of
Like
glimmering,
sparkle.
yeah, a little
Yeah.
sparkle. um but yeah, it's all very unique but very very simple. And I think that's sort of the theme of the game is like very simple, very down to earth, but like very buyable. Um,
Yeah.
the character design of the game also, like I said, extremely simple. You're playing as a bird.
You're a
Your
bird.
aunt that you came with is also a bird. Um,
There's
other
a few other like animal people, I guess.
Yeah,
Like a rabbit. I think there was like a turtle.
yeah. There is like a turtle and a hare little situation where they're both supposed to be in races,
Yeah.
like not against each other but like just in general.
Hmm.
um it's there's a lot of different unique characters but they're all very simple. There's no like edginess, there's no like I guess you could say like stylistic elements to it. It's
No.
just if you were to make a turtle stand on two legs and talk, what would it look like? And it's like make it as close to the original thing as possible, and this is what you would see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just all very simple, and it all comes across as very um quaint, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
And it's really nice. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know. It really like I'm noticing the trend of very simple, but I know that this game was not simple to make.
No, of course
Um,
not.
the other thing that's pretty simple about this game, there's not a lot. I guess I mean like obviously we said earlier it's a collectathon, but
Yeah.
it's very very simple. Um, your job is to just
Is
go
it?
around the island
Is
and
it
just look
though?
at
I mean,
things.
it is, I guess, a simple concept. It's like just explore. You
Yeah,
know,
basically, go look
just
at
go
things.
around, go look at things, go find some golden feathers.
Yeah, go talk to things or
Usually,
things. Go talk to people. Go like read signs. Go play games. Even.
yeah, you can like. There's a lot of things to do. There's like you talk to people, they give you like a quest, and then depending on the like what they give you is like either a golden feather or a
They'll give you money
just
sometimes as
money,
well.
yeah. Which you can use that money to buy golden feathers. You can buy like two, I think.
You can buy a lot more than two. It just depends on where you go. Um, the if you are exploring and you find the first place that you can buy feathers from, which is the what would it be? Uh,
The like visitor center or
yeah, the
something.
visitor center. I don't know why I couldn't remember what that guy was like. He's not even at a house, but he's like standing near the visitor center. You can talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll sell you a hat, and I'll also sell you a couple of golden feathers, but I can't sell you very many because somebody came by and bought all of them." It's like, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
so yeah, you buy all those, and like the way you get money is you literally like run around the island, and there's just money like lying around.
There's just money lying around. There's
Um,
chests that give you money.
yeah, you can do stuff for people, and they'll pay you. You can dig with a real shovel, and it will like in certain spots that are like pretty clearly marked. Um,
Yeah.
like literally like a circle of rocks. Dig in the middle of it. It'll dig up a chest, and there'll be a bunch of money in there. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah. The money is used for obviously like buying things at shops. You can. Oh, I guess the other thing, what place you can get money is technically trading fish.
Oh yeah, that's true. You can go fishing. You can fish up, and you can sell them to the guy in the sailboat or the
Yeah,
not sailboat. It's a I don't know, like
it's
fishing
it's like
boat.
a yeah, it's like a regular boat. I didn't do that because I'm
I don't know. I fished up a few fish, and then I just forgot where the guy was, so I didn't go sell them.
yeah, I don't know.
I already had like enough money anyway, so it was like, eh.
I'm a
I had like
notorious like fishing hater, like not only in real life but also like
most video games.
most video games, if not all video games. Like I don't know. I can't think of a single video game that I like fishing in.
Stardew Valley.
Nah, dude. Stardew Valley genuinely one of the most boring things. Like I do it whenever I play Stardew Valley. But it's not fun. I don't really enjoy myself. It's not
Alright,
relaxing.
whatever.
It's not great. Um, but I don't know. This I know for a fact that this is just a me problem. Um, but like this game is supposed to be about like the simplicity of life and sort of smelling the roses along the way, but like
Mhm.
which I did, and I was doing a lot of like running around looking at stuff, going like, whoa, that's cool, whoa, that's cool, whoa, that's cool. And then they're like, hey, here's a fishing pole fish, and I'm like, "Ugh."
No,
I
I'm
don't really
not
want to
gonna do
do
that.
that. No, don't make me do that. I don't want to. And like I'm pretty sure I got as many golden feathers as I can without fishing, because I assume the last thing that I needed to do was fish,
I I don't know.
because I had like literally like 12 or 13 golden feathers. I don't know how many there are because the achievement just says um get all the golden feathers, not like get this many, because the one before it is like get
Get
10 golden feathers. Okay.
yeah,
And then the next one is like get
find
all
every
of them.
feather.
It's like, oh, okay, I don't know how many there are, so whatever. Um, yeah, so I would say that like one, fishing, and then there was the boat is another like aspect of the gameplay that you could um say is gameplay. You can rent a boat
Yeah,
in order to like zoom around on the water, which I
instead
did
of like
like
swimming
instead of
everywhere.
swimming, which I did pretty much immediately. Um,
Yeah,
what
I did
else?
too.
There was a stick volleyball game,
Uh, s- beach stickball.
beach stickball, where like you go over and you find these two. I think they're rabbits.
I
These
think they were
two
no, I think they were also birds.
these two animal peoples like you. Uh, you see them at a volleyball net with a beach ball, and they're like, hey Claire, because your character's name is Claire. Hey Claire, come play games with us. And then you're like, I'm, I all right, sure, why not? And you go over and you're like, well, what are you playing? And they're like, we're playing the new game that I just made up. It's gonna be a new hit sensation. Stick beach ball, beach stick
Beach
ball, or
stickball.
whatever. All you need is two sticks and a ball, and you
It's
basically
literally you just hit the beach ball back and forth. It
yeah,
sticks.
like it's like it's like oh no, you have a balloon and you got to keep that balloon in the air, but it's a beach ball instead, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I
And
don't know, it's fun.
so yeah, no, it was fun. Very forgiving, which I really enjoyed. Where like there was a couple of times where like my ball definitely hit the ground, like 100%
Yeah,
hit the ground. But it
but
didn't.
as long as you hit it with your stick, like, a few seconds after that,
Yeah,
it
like
still counted.
within like the few frames where it hits, if you hit it, it'll you know
Yeah, it'll be
give you
fine.
leniency, which is nice because like obviously this is a super duper ultra mega casual game. Um, and if they added like punishing aspects like that, it would be absolutely nuts.
Not as fun,
I
yeah.
think I want to say that the most rewards that you got from that particular like little mini game was like you had to do 20 consecutive bounces, and then I think after 10 you got a golden feather, and then after
Yeah.
20 he gave you like a bunch of money.
Yeah, he just, like, gives you a bunch of money.
Yeah, he's like, I'll give you all the money in my pocket, and Claire's like, oh no, no, you don't have to do that. That's fine. It's don't worry about it. And she's like,
He's like, "Ah, it's fine, my parents are rich." And it's like,
yeah.
"Well, alright then, I guess."
Um, it's occurring to me that there was apparently a boating challenge somewhere. Uh,
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm looking at the achievements, and there's a complete the boating challenge in under 45 seconds without
Hmm,
like hitting anything. And so like clearly there
like,
was something that I missed on the water. I said that I explored the whole thing, but I guess I didn't do a very good job.
yeah, I guess not.
Um
You're gonna have to play it again.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll just go back to my file that I was just playing. Um yeah. And so like the main goal of the game, I don't think we stated this, was to climb the peak,
Yeah.
the Hawk Peak that is like stated at the very beginning. They're like, it's just a short hike up the mountain. Go ahead. And he's like, haha, they said the thing. Um,
I don't
but the
yeah,
like
God.
this is like if there was anything to be said about this game, it's like this game is very much about the journey, not the destination.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The whole game is
Um,
about being distracted, basically.
but yeah, that's
Um,
why they call it a short hike and not, you know, Journey to Hawk Peak.
I guess so, yeah. Well, I mean, you could honestly call it either one. It would have been
Yeah, I
it,
guess that's true.
it would have been fine. Like I don't mind either of those things.
But yeah,
Um,
anyway, the closer you get to the top, um, it gets colder. So,
yeah.
like,
Well, okay, so actually we gotta take one step back because I don't think we've
yeah,
ever described
we
what
didn't
the
actually, like,
golden
fully
feathers
describe.
do.
We did mention that, like, you can use it as a double jump, but,
Right.
um, at one point you get basically the gold feathers are your, like, energy, I guess, stamina,
Yeah.
ability meter. Um, you use them to double jump, you use them if you got the running shoes, you can use them to run. Um, I think you use them to climb,
Yes. Climb.
so it's like you kinda need them to climb up the mountain. So it's like it's kinda like energy like your stamina bar,
Basically.
and the more you get, the more stamina you have.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. So like each feather represents an additional jump that you can make, and obviously like you said, the it will deplete whenever you do the jump, and then if you climb up a wall it will deplete. One interesting thing that I noticed was that if you are climbing up a wall and this feather is depleting and you watch it, if you jump while you're climbing, it won't use another feather, it'll use the remainder of the one that you
we're using
were using. So if you time it right, you can like climb up a wall, right? Use like 3/4 of that feather, jump, use 3/4 of the next feather, jump, and you just keep repeating that. You will like basically double the amount of stamina you have,
mm,
which like I got most of the way up the mountain by doing this um without buying the secondary source of feathers. from the guy
Okay.
who bought all the feathers in the first place.
Yeah.
And then he was reselling them for an exorbitant amount of money.
It's like
Um,
100 each. It's fine.
and then I went back and I gave him like 800 like gold pieces or whatever the money is, um, for like a bunch of extra feathers. Um, yeah, I got pretty far up there, but like you need quite a few to
Yeah,
finish
I
out the
think it
game.
says. I think one of the signs said like minimum 7 feathers to get to the top.
Okay. Yeah, I had way more than that,
Oh
but
yeah, I know. I did
I
too.
yeah, I wanted to have like as many as I could just to make it like really easy.
Yeah,
But I have a feeling that the jump spread or like jump climb doubling up thing was intended.
it's intended. Yeah,
If that's the
because
case, they were saying like, oh, 7 required. It's like, oh, dude, no way.
it said 7. It says 7 require 7, a minimum of 7. Um, but it also said something about like I think you could use less if you were not a novice or something
Mm,
like that.
maybe.
Or like not for novice hikers or whatever. I don't know.
You know, now that I think about it, this game is really short, which really short games, you know what
Weird.
they tend to be? Like fodder for?
Speedrun.
Speed runs. So I'm going to speedrun.com like right now and checking it. A short hike. Cause
What's this world record gonna be
yeah,
like?
it's gonna be like
Three,
what? Oh yeah,
like
1 minute
a
25
minute?
seconds. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. That's any percent. And then there's an
Yeah.
all golden feathers percent, all unique collectibles percent, and then
Mhm.
a goldenrod percent. I don't know what the goldenrod is.
I don't
Obviously
know
I didn't
either.
play this game anywhere near as much as I should have to get
Yeah.
any of this stuff.
Yeah. Me either.
Well, see, here's the thing: is this game is so like cute and casual that like I can give it to the wife, and she'll sit down and 100% it,
Yeah.
where I don't have the patience to. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. I had my fun, and I'm ready to be done. But like 1 minute and 25 seconds, like that's
Yeah.
got to be like get to the peak and get down and hit the end because that's
Well,
how.
the going down is not the hard part.
Yeah, no, of course not. You just jump off the ledge and glide slash dive. Um, that's wild. 1 minute, 25 seconds. I wonder how many golden feathers that are like they use. It's probably like 3, and then they use some glitch to like never run out of stamina or something, and they just like jump up the mountain. I don't know. It's very funny though. That's a lot shorter than I expected. I would have expected
Yeah.
like 8 minutes or like 6 minutes because you got to like gather up all the golden feathers that you need. But yeah, no, this is very very short. Uh, yeah. Is there any other like gameplay aspect about this game? We talked about the
Mm,
fishing. We
um,
talked about the boating. We talked about the
there's a few other things where it's like when you're gliding, you can dive, makes you go faster. There's like updrafts you can ride.
yeah, that's true. Mostly on
There's
like small islands.
there's little flowers that when you pour a bucket of water on them, they they're like bounce flowers.
Oh
They
yeah.
bounce you
Oh
up.
yeah. Okay. So one thing I was actually going to pose, and I wanted to see how you felt about this. Um, this game's like almost like it's like so close to being like a Metroidvania or like Metroidvania esque. I don't
Kinda.
know how
I
you
mean,
feel about that because like you there are a lot of things that you don't need to do, but you can still like get pretty far. But then there's also like, oh, you know, you find the toy shovel and trade it for the shovel so that you can
yeah,
dig, so that you can get all this stuff. There's also the um what else? The like pickaxe, so that you can go and you can pickaxe various shortcuts throughout the game. Um, you know, there's all these tools that change the way that you play the game or interact with your surroundings.
Mhm.
like you said with the flowers dumping a bucket of water on them, that like you don't need to do any of this stuff, but the game gives you like the opportunity and suggestion in order to do so.
Yeah. I don't think that's Metroidvania though.
No, but it's like one of the factors that makes a Metroidvania like
Yeah.
tick, and this game
Go
has
find this thing
nothing.
to do this thing.
Right, it has nothing else in common with a Metroidvania but this, but and so that's why I'm like saying it's got a unique um I don't know how else to describe it, but like it
I know what
has an aspect of it that it shares with a Metroidvania. You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like it's more of a like an open world.
It's
Like you
more of
just have
a
to
go ahead.
more of an open world. You just have to like go out, explore, find things, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I can use this. Maybe I can use that for something because like if the game allows you to pick it up, obviously it's used for
You can pick
something.
it up. Yeah, that's fair. Um, yeah, I suppose I had that thought when I was playing, and so I was like,
Yeah.
that's an idea. I'll throw it out to see what Tim thinks. Um, I guess the other thing is there are like quests sort of where you
Mhm.
can like talk to a person and they'll be like, I need 15 shells, and you're like, why? And they're like, don't worry about it. You know,
Yeah, it's
stuff
true.
like that.
And then you get like a quest marker or not marker quest like pop up like
Yeah.
go find 15 shells and you're like, all right.
Okay. I was gonna do that anyway, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was picking these up before I even knew where they needed to go.
Yeah,
Free shells.
I think I ended up finding like 13 shells by the time I found that quest. And so like I just like ran around a little bit and grabbed 2 shells and then that was it, you know?
Yeah, pretty
Um
much.
just cuz like obviously I was already like you said I was already picking them up, so, you know.
Like, oh, that's got it. That has the little sparkle. I can pick that up.
Yeah,
Easy.
but
I uh I, I ended up with like 4 sticks,
yeah.
um, and like 2 buckets.
Yeah, same. Um
'Cause I think also where you get the pickaxe, I think I picked up all the pickaxes. There's like 3 of
yeah,
them.
yeah. You get like 3 or 4
This
of
is
those
funny.
cuz they're
It's
just
like you
hanging
don't
around.
you don't actually need more than one of any of these except
No.
the shells, but like you can pick them up.
Yeah, why
And
not?
there's just various places to find those objects.
Yeah, I mean, if you have an infinite pocket, why not fill that pocket?
Yeah, like right?
Yeah.
Just like, oh, I can pick up this stick. I already got a stick, but like, why
Nice.
not?
Now I've got 2 sticks.
Now I've got 2 sticks. All 3 pickaxes? Sure.
Yeah.
I
Um
found this bucket next to this sign that says water this flower. Oh look,
yeah.
another one.
So
Yeah.
the final thing that we'll talk about is the story. Like most other things in this podcast for this particular game, not a whole lot to talk about here, but there is stuff.
Yeah,
Um
there's something.
so the game starts out, you're in a car ride, like this is even in the menu. Like before
Mhm.
you even start the game. You're in a car and you're driving along and the other person in the car, the person who's driving you, is like, we'll be there in a bit and you'll have a great time, basically, if
Yeah.
I'm remembering correctly. And so you get to your cabin, you get all like packed away, and eventually you pop out of the house and you go, and you walk over and you talk to the person next to the campfire, and that's revealed to be your aunt, who is a park ranger, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, or was once a park ranger, and you talk to her and she's like, hey, how you doing? You look like you're kind of down. What's going on? You've been in that house for a long time, and your character is like, I'm waiting for a phone call, and the aunt's like, yeah, there's no reception here. You gotta go somewhere
Gotta,
else for that.
gotta go up higher
Yeah,
for
you need
that.
to go up higher for any sort of reception. And your character's like, oh no, like, why didn't you tell me that? She's like, well, I figured you would just kind of unplug and relax and, forget about all your troubles while you were here and you'd have a good time. And instantly I'm like, oh, so this game is basically telling you outright, like, this
Just
game is about chilling out and enjoying yourself.
yeah.
Um, and the aunt's like, well, why don't you go up to the top of Hawk Peak? There's definitely phone reception up there. And your character's like, oh, like, I don't know if I want to. It's pretty far away. Like, you're the aunt's like, it's actually just a pretty short hike. It's not too bad. I know you've never done it. Your character's like, yeah, I've been meaning to, but I never have. It's I don't really get out of the house too much lately. I like being inside better. Yada yada yada. And so it's like, okay, it's doing quite a good job characterizing the main character, even though you're obviously controlling her. So you play how you
Yeah.
want. Um, as like a homebody who didn't really want to go on this trip, but
Hmm.
is anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, taking only the trip up as canon, I guess. Like, let's say you just
You just go
like
straight up.
you go straight up because obviously, gameplay wise, you play this the first time, you try to go straight up, and you're gonna have problems, right? Like we said,
Yeah.
you get up to a certain point, and if you use any part of a golden feather stamina bits at all, they'll freeze, right? And you can't use them again until
Actually, I
you.
don't think we mentioned that,
Oh yeah,
but
we
yeah,
cut ourselves off. Anyway, it's fine. You have to unfreeze them by going into like a hot
you
spring or
hot
near
spring or
fire,
near fire.
and then you
And
can continue up the peak. Um, you're gonna run into problems once you get up there because you still need to like use all of your stamina to get to the next fire or the next hot spring. So you need to have like a pretty decent store going through.
mhm,
Um, you climb up and you're talking to people who are helping you, really friendly. They all know you, so you've been here before, clearly, plenty of times to where like even all the kids know who you are, all the adults know who you are, um, and your character is shown to be like, even though they're like doing their best to have like a pretty bad time, their their day is being brightened by everyone's like sunny disposition because everyone's on vacation, they're all in a
yeah,
park, or their job is to make everybody have a good time. So like everybody's generally having a good time. you know
yeah,
you're the only one who's kind of a stick in the mud, who's like, I don't really want to be here. um and so you're going through, you go up to the mountain, you get to the top of the mountain, and your phone rings, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that this was the whole reason why, like, this, like, after an hour of like running around this island, like picking up shells and sticks and pickaxes and playing games with people and riding a boat around, you've completely forgotten that the entire reason why you're climbing the mountain is to like
get a phone call.
get a phone call, right? And I think that's obviously on purpose, right? Like
Mhm,
they're trying to get you to forget about the premise of the game and just enjoy yourself. But then like it turns out that the premise is really important. Because when
yeah,
you answer the phone, it's your mom. And you're like, hey mom, how are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm doing fine. Where are you? How come I can call you? How come you can answer the phone? I thought you were at like whatever the island is called. I can't remember. And the character's like, oh, I climbed Hawk Peak. And then mom's like, oh my gosh, it's really great up there. The sights are amazing. I love it up there. I go every time we go on vacation. Um, and the main character's like, yeah, but I wanted to call and ask how you were doing because if I'm remembering correctly, it's revealed that the character's mom just went through like a
some kind of
really like dangerous procedure or something.
yeah, some kind of surgery.
Yeah, some kind of surgery, and the main character like didn't want to leave home because she wanted to be there with her, and her
Yeah,
mom's like, hey,
no,
don't
get out
worry
of here.
about it.
Just go and have a good time.
Yeah, like
It's
enjoy
fine.
yourself. I'll be here when you come back. Like I'll be fine. You don't have to take care of me. And it's like, oh, you know, like just have a good time. And
Yeah,
it's like a really sweet sort of story of like this character was way down in the dumps and like all inside of her head and like kind of like low-key freaking out because she thought that the second that she left that her mom was gonna like pass away or something bad was gonna happen to her, and she was like really unable to like have a good time because of that, you know.
Yeah.
um and it's kind of, I guess the message that I would take away is like, even if bad things are happening around you and you're like getting bad news and stuff like that, that you know you've really got to take time to like, I guess, take in the world around you, you know,
Yeah.
experience life regardless of the bad things that are happening to others,
Hmm.
which is, again, as many other things in this game so far that we've talked about, very simple message but
Very
executed
simple, but
just
execute.
flawlessly.
Yeah, and simple but powerful. You know,
Yeah. um I really really love this game. I think this
it
game
is.
is
I think
absolutely
it's a very
stellar.
good game.
It
Yeah.
was very heavily recommended on like every single thing I've ever looked at for it. So like it's no wonder it's so good.
Yeah.
Um but I don't know. I think I think that if you ever get a chance to play this game, it was on Steam sale. It might still be
Good.
on. I don't think it's still on the Steam sale, but if
No,
it
but it's
goes on
still
sale
like
again,
I think it's still like $8.
yeah, I'll check
It's
really
it's,
quick.
it's an $8 game.
Yeah, it's
That's
an
the,
eight
that's the
dollar
whole price.
game. Um
That's definitely worth the $8.
yeah,
Like absolutely,
if you ever need like an hour to 2 hour jaunt of something where,
or longer if you choose.
yeah, or well, it's I would say it's probably like an hour and 15 minutes, just like
Yeah,
if you're
for like
casually going through it.
yeah,
But
that
like
sounds great.
obviously you can stretch it out to 2 hours by making sure you have all 12 achievements.
Yeah, or
Um
like longer. You know, doesn't matter.
yeah, or just like walk
It's as
around. Who
short or as
cares?
long as you want.
Um I would heavily recommend this game. Super
Yeah,
duper recommend
I
this game.
I would too. It's very
Like
good.
wow. I knew it would be good, but I didn't
Yeah,
expect it to be this good. So,
yeah, same.
but I think that's
Anyway,
it.
yeah, I think that's it. I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I was also going to give it a 9.5. I think
Pretty good.
we're
Pretty
pretty
good game.
in pretty good agreement with that.
One of the better games we've played.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, go play it, go buy it. It's a really
Go
good
buy
game.
it.
It's
$8.
worth your money.
It's
Go
not too
support this
expensive.
developer, whoever
Yeah.
it is. I don't know if it's a team or if it's a guy. It's one time I didn't really look into it, but it's amazing. So all right. What's our next game?
Our next game is Grease or Gris or however you pronounce it.
Yeah, GRIS.
GRIS.
It's a sort
Also
of,
supposed to be a really good game.
yeah, I've also heard it in like immense praise heaped upon this game. These are just some games that we picked up on the Steam summer sale because, you know, if they're $1.50, why not pick them up?
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's gonna be our next game. It's like a platformer puzzle game, sort of, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
And yeah, that's gonna be it. So yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah,
Have a great
thank you.
day or night or whatever you're doing, and we'll see you next week. Have a good
All
one.
right. Bye bye.